Hi, everybody. I thank you for joining me today. This is Mr. Walter with Around the World, and I hope that you're having a lot of fun today. I'm just kind of enjoying today, just putting a little bit of music as we start, and I hope you guys can hear me well and everything is working fine. So thank you for just joining me today, and we will be getting started and now we are going to be just moving right through the world. So as we start coming in, we see our small little planet just again starting in the middle of the universe here in our solar system. So if you're joining me today, thank you for being here. This is Mr. Walter with Around the World, Mr. Walter. So we talk a little bit about geography, culture, music, and having all these things. So I'm really excited about the program today. So if you're watching Mr. Adam with Into the Dungeonverse, he's having a great adventure with in Greece, in Athens, and just all around with mythological creature. So it's a great show that you can see. You can catch him every day from 1 in the afternoon till 2. And now afterwards, it's me with Mr. Walter Around the World. So let me check in with the comment and just making sure that everything's here. So yeah, Justin, thank you so much for coming in. Nikki, I know that you're always here, so great. Thank you for all coming in. So we are actually here in the world, and we start every day from our offices here in Dallas, Texas. And we are going to go fly right in to start. So we're just going to fly in and just take a quick look of where we start our adventures every day. So we're taking a quick look here in Plano, Texas, and here's our right there. You can see, some of the offices right from out there. So let me just give you a quick view, and I want to remind you that this is always coming in live. So I am here in my office in Anna, Texas. as we all are quarantined and we're staying at home. But that does not mean that we cannot head out and explore the world. So as we explore the world, I'm happy to show you a few things from where we are. So let me just kind of move and take a quick look about where we are and just where. So this is our offices here in Dallas, Texas, and we are right here where we start our journey. So we're gonna drop in and see if I can get like every day. Take a quick look at our basketball court, just to the side. So just a little bit off, but here it is. Our trusty basketball court right on the side of our building here in New Minds offices. And here is the main entrance where we always start our show. So we always start our journey from here in New Minds. And I'm kind of happy that you are here with me. So we're going to be joining and we're going to be moving from Dallas and taking a quick look at the world. So let's kind of move out from the world, and here we are. So just a quick look of where we're going to start. So here's the United States, and let me gonna turn the world around. This is the United States, here's Mexico, and then we have Guatemala, Honduras, then we have Costa Rica, Panama, Cuba. We have gone, yesterday we were in the Dominican Republic, and we're also in Puerto Rico, seeing just colorful places around the world. And we see Ecuador and Colombia, Venezuela. We have Brazil, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, which were also, we were there yesterday, as well as, we were in Morocco, and just a few sections of France. We have gone to Egypt already, but we still have a few more areas that we have to go. So South Africa is going to be one, and we're going to be Liberia, and we're going to go to the Gulf of Guinea, as well as we've gone to Saudi Arabia, we've gone all the way up to Turkey and the Ukraine. We have gone to Ireland as well, and we have gone, let's say, where else have we gone? We've gone to India. We actually saw some of these places at night, so it was kind of cool to actually see where all these places were and within the world. We have gone underwater. We actually went all the way down to Australia, and we actually were diving in the coral reef right off the coast of Australia, as well as we have gone to the some places in the Philippines, not much, and there was still Asia that we have to. So we actually saw Japan, and we saw some of the areas in China at night. So let's see, where else have we gone? We haven't gone to Canada yet. We haven't gone to Alaska, and we haven't really taken a deep dive in the North Atlantic Sea. So we'll get all those places ready, and it's a great. So thank you, Ms. Adam, for being here, and just if you comment on the chats, it's going to be a fun place, since we're going to go all the way to Greece, and we're going to be exploring some of the great places right there. So. Before we start, actually, every show we do also some activities. So if you have, as you can see, we get a little bit of cardboard, and we get a little bit of our, some cardboard, some markers. We get some. We have right here. We have some tape, plus a trusty scissors. And always be careful with these, right? Always be careful with scissors as we start making some other things. So let me show you some of the things that we have done so far, which is a lot of fun. So when we went to the moon, and yes, we have gone to the moon already. We made kind of a rocket. We have also explored some of the tall buildings. So definitely some of the tall buildings that we have explored. We have also being able to go, so some of the tall buildings around the world, we explore that, and I have a few collections. So we definitely we went to the pyramids, and we're able to build some of the pyramids as well on our on a journey. We actually did a bit of an energy in which we kind of moved around the world. Just kind of seeing some of the places where energy is made, and so we made one of these on the energy sections. We also yesterday we went to colorful places, so we did just colorful areas, painting them different colors, colorful neighborhoods around the world. And we have also gone. We went to some of the national parks, and out of the national parks, we also saw a few places where there's geysers. So we actually did as well. We built some few things. So today we're gonna go to Greece, and as we go to Greece, we'll be able to see some of the ancient areas, and hopefully by the end of the show, we'll be able to do a few other things like build the one of the great monuments of the world that is inspired by Greek architecture, which is the Colosseum. So we'll be able to actually build it and kind of move around. So let's kind of jump right in, and let's go ahead and start and discover some of the beautiful places. So as this right here in the area right here is Greece, and let me just take some of these things off. There we go. And so we have, we'll discover Greece from the monasteries that were built on rock pillars, and all the way through the notable destinations, from the beaches all the way to the gorges and all these beautiful places here in Greece. So thank you, Mr. Adam, and thank you for everybody joining in. I'm glad that you are all having and coming in for today. So please make sure that you chat and send me some of your comments if you've been to Greece, or if you want to go to Greece, or if you want to explore some of the areas as we kind of walk through. More than happy to read along and kind of see some of the comments, and we'll kind of we'll look. So we will start right here at the beach in the Bolos Beach right here in Greece. So just a beautiful area. As we'll start. Actually, let me kind of just pan out a little bit so we can fly in from so as you know, Greece is in here close to Europe, close to the side. So just to get your bearings, here's Italy, and here's Turkey, here's Egypt. So across the way, you will have you have all the pyramids. Here's Libya, as well as Spain and Portugal and Morocco. So as we move closer, to Greece, we'll be able to see all the islands. Not only the different islands as we come in, but also you'll see all the monuments that we have. So we'll start at the beach here in the Balos Beach. So it's one of the most popular and photogenic beaches in Crete. So we'll actually we'll head down straight there as we go. Oh, and there we go. So one of the most popular and photographic beaches here in Crete. You see the white sands, which are just incredible. And these white sands, what's really interesting is just crushed shells. So it's as the water and just keep crushing and gives that beautiful white look. So as you can see, getting a closer look of it was the waters. And they're pretty shallow, so they stay warm most of the time. And what a great example of one of the houses right here in Greece. And you see what's on top is solar panels. So things that we were talking about, right? It's just a beautiful area in natural renewable energy. And what a great example from this small little place in Greece, which has fully solar panel right on top. So what a beautiful area as we go, and we see all the rest of the islands. Bolos Beach is accessed by boats from Kisamos, which is one of the islands right by, and you see the driving just down the road. But obviously it's a hike if you actually want to come in from different places. So as you can see, it's not only rocky, but just turquoise water, and you can see the trail all the way down right down in the right in this place in Balos Beach. So you can definitely see that this is an incredible place to not only to be, to look, and actually enjoy. So in the adventure that Mr. Adam had today, Crete was one of the features, and they left Crete today and kind of moved along in their adventure. All right, so another place which we're gonna go is the Samarian Gorge. So the Samarian Gorge is a national park. It's and from the same name, Samarian Gorge, and you see that is the longest. It's one of the gorges which is the longest in Europe, 16 kilometers, almost 10 miles long. So it begins in Solostaco, and it's about 1,200 meters in height. So you can see right here the huge rock face as I said. So my son absolutely loves climbing. So I think definitely this could be one of the places that have to add it in our list. And a little interesting tidbit, as you can see, tourists and locals set up these little stone kind of stacking stones, and you can see there's a few right here that are fallen, the other one's way there, right? But what's really interesting is if you set it right, then they will stay there for years. It's so the more that you bring these elements and kind of stack them, yeah, they will stay there for just a great area. So Kaylee, thank you for joining and being here with us. I see you there. You're in the chat, and if you have any comments on what we're looking at on the stacking of rocks that we see right here, right at the Samarian Gorge here in Greece, it's it's an incredible place. So the gorge takes like about 5 to 6 hours to kind of traverse and walk through. But like I was saying, one of the great features is just not only is one of the longest uh, gorges here in Europe, but also the height, just amazing rock formation. So let me step back a little bit to show you where that is. So it is right here, in the island of Crete. So the Samarian Gorge, right in front of us. Right. So as we keep exploring Crete, we'll move now to this Sonemvasia. So Sonemvasia is meaning single entry. Is on their way into the rock fortress of Monemvasia. This is a Greek town that is located in the south coast of Peloponnese here in the peninsula, and is in the Laconia region. So it's one of the entry points of these great fortress that was here. So as you can see, it was built right onto the rock, and it falls right up. One of the another one of these beautiful places as it starts kind of building right through, and then just going all the way. So an earthquake in 375 AD just separated this island from this section from the mainland, and now just a narrow cobblestone streets lead all the visitors into this area. So you can see how just earthquakes is just going to start tearing up this place and just kind of moving it away from the mainland. So it's an entry point here in Greece. So beautiful. You can see how the water is right up to the rock, and you can see some of the beautiful landscapes right there as all the houses are built right into the rock. All right, so let's pan out a little bit more where we are. So we are right on the side, and you can see how the earthquake had just broke off these sections, and now just from the mainland, there's just a small area which people can actually go through. So as we keep on moving, one of the most iconic areas right here, Mount Ida. Mount Ida, standing almost 2,500 meters, almost 8,000, more than 8,000 feet, is one of the highest points here in the at the peak. So Mount Ida is one of the highest mountains here in Crete, and you can see just the full area as it just overlooks. And what's really interesting is that we've gone to different places, and most of the places that we have gone have been very lush and very green. You know, at the very height here in Mount Ida, you can see all the hiking trails, but you can definitely see all the rock formations that have built up to one of these highest, mountains. This is, one of the great things about it is is that Zeus said to have been born in this, in the infamous Idaean cave. So Greek mythology has this Mount Ida as one of the places where, they say in the Greek mythology where Zeus, was born. So incredible place in just in the highest peaks, and just like we can see all around. So Justin, I know you're here. Karin. All right. So thank you so much. We're Justin, my brother, calls them cairns, the little rock stands. Oh, Karen, yeah, the little rock stands that we just saw in the gorge as they kind of stack up together. All right. So as we look back on the Mount Ida, we definitely see just the landscaping. You can see all the way in the back the beach and the sea. All right. So let's zoom back out from where we are, and here the island of Crete, and here again is the mountain. So let's kind of head right back in to Kofinas, which is another one of the a mountain range that runs parallel to the coast. And you can see the full range as it just does the expands across. Not only do you see again some of the rock formations as the houses are built, but you can see the overview and the height as some of the tourists and some of the rest of the locals kind of walk throughout. So you can definitely see how in ancient Greece all these areas had to be built and structured in such a way that it need to be reached in steps and cut the rock as it naturally was forming to move to have steps and reach as high as we could. So another one of the highest peaks here, standing on 4,000 feet, 1,200 meters. So it is Kofinas is the one of the highest peaks in this region, and resembles kind of like you see like an upside down basket. So as you can see how the rock formations kind of go in, and at the top we see a small little monastery that is just built out of rock, and all the crosses and the churches. So an incredible panoramic view of the full area here here in Greece. So as we come out, we're still in the island, and we're still in here in Greece, and we're still looking at the island of Crete. So I'm going to click another one, and we'll go to the Aphrosemos Lighthouse. So located at the edge of the island, it's a northeast edge of Marabella Bay, the Cape Aglos Iloamis. So it's built in 1864. So we're just a few years, like 20 years from 200 years ago. It was built by the French and the company of Ottoman. The lighthouse is part of a Greek lighthouse network. So as you'll see that all throughout Crete, it has all these lighthouses to kind of signal and make sure that the lighthouse has a reputation for not only signaling for strong winds and according to the legend, the cave is where the Calapas, the high priest, actually organized the plot to kill Jesus. So this is where some of the plots and the area. You can see how incredible. And here's the lighthouse again, as one of the networks of lighthouses. So what's really interesting is not only was built within the rock, but you can see that the type of lighthouse was actually built in order to have fire inside. So this one actually would have fire, and then it would just light up and kept. So remember, this is not the type of lighthouses that we know. This was built in 1864. So even back then, they understood the importance of having the edge of the island be lit for all the ships that were coming in. So if we saw this at night back then, we only see a few spots around. But it's another feat of technology, or another feat of architecture that the Greeks had in that time, understanding the need for signaling and lighthouses way back when. All right, so let me go back to see all the places that we've gone. So this is Greece. We have gone to Balos Beach. We have gone to the Cimmerian Gorge. We've also have gone to Monemvasia. We've gone there. We went to Mount Ida. So let's go a little bit further down, and let's go to Hydra. So Hydra, Hydra is an island as well. Is right off the Argonosaurid Gulf, with a rich and naval history. So signs which can be seen in the wandering the waterfront. So you can see the waterfront right there, and the waterfront is really interesting because the ships go way into the city. So as we take a closer look, you see that the city was built on a semicircle, and almost a complete circle, and with a bridge right in the middle. So you can see how one of the main elements of commerce and work was done to actually have almost a full harbor, but within the city. So there are no cars on the island. They're not allowed. So people just kind of move around in donkeys and water taxis, or simply by walking. So it's another one of these interesting communities that we have here in the world, which it's a port city, but the way that it was built and the way that it's set up, doesn't allow any vehicles. So kind of, can you imagine that nowadays? Just walking around everywhere, or just having a donkey moving back and forth, or if you want to go to the other side of the city, you would take a little water taxi from one place to another. So just different ways in which these communities have agreed to live in harmony. So a beautiful place, as you can see, with the sun in the back, and just having the port, and then you can definitely see all the way of the landscape. And again, some of the great places and walls that have been there for centuries, kind of built right into the rock here in Greece. All right, so the island of Hydra, and as you might know, also Hydra is one of those mythical creatures that Miss Adam kind of references again on Into the Dungeonverse. So it is a very interesting place. That there is a place that is called Hydra, plus the mythology that's right behind it. All right, so as we go back and we see, the places that we've been. So we have seen, we've gone to, let's see if we go to the museum. So the Acropolis Museum. So one of the most interesting places here in Greece is just the rich history. And the museum is one of the places where we can see all the sculptures and the amazing areas that we have. So I'm going a little bit out of order, but we have gone to the island of Crete. Then now we're in the mainland here in Greece. So the museum is absolutely enormous, 25,000 square meters, right? So it's almost 270,000 square feet. So it houses thousands of invaluable Greek artifacts and that have been discovered and have been dug up. You know, not only columns, but as well as the classical architectural sites here in Acropolis. So, but it has works from the classical, the Roman periods, the even the areas of how they design buildings, how they model exteriors, part of the Pantheon, as well as all the nearby elements that have been incorporated. So this is a quick look right into the museum, and I know that that we can definitely start talking a little bit more about visiting some of the museums of the world, which we can do. But you can see right there, not only the structure, but each one of the works of art mounted in the rock as well, mounted as just a quick look at the museum of here in Acropolis. All right. So as we are here, let's move a little bit back from our section of the world, and let's go back and see where we are. So today we are visiting Greece. And so as we visit different points here in Greece, we have gone to Balos Beach, we've gone to the Samarian Gorge, um, we've gone to Momen Vasia, we've gone to Mount Ida. Let's see where we have gone. Hydra as well. So I've left some of the great places right at the end. So we'll go to Mount Olympus, which is one of the iconic places here in Greece. We've gone to the lighthouse. Let's go to the a few other. We've gone to the Acropolis Museum, but let's go to one of the old towns of Corfu. So Corfu is, the old town of Corfu is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So, it's just one of those places that has been voted by the UNESCO as one of the world places and world heritage. So it's located at the entrance of the Adriatic Sea. And you can see this is a Venetian fortification and was a key town for merchants to trade. And as the Venetian rule began in the 15th century, it would have all these elements of commerce going back and forth. So it has Greece's largest square and also places, churches, and museums. So, and this is really interesting as you can see some of the buildings have the architecture of the arches, and we'll be able, in our activity today, we'll be able to use some of those arches into, one of the key architectural wonders that have been influenced by Greek architecture. So we can see right here on the square, and you'll see all the area. So we are now on the old town of Corfu, and just right at the edge in here in Greece. So beautiful places here in the world with all the cafes and areas. And what I really love is how the streets and the cobblestone is it's made an incredible place of to come and visit. So again, we are, exploring Greece, and we have, just been going different places. We have gone to Valos, we got the Samarian Gorge, and now we'll just move a little bit more. So let's go to Kofinas, and then we'll go to the Monastery St. John, and then we'll go to the old town of Chania. So let's go, first of all, let's go to another old town, the old town of Chania, which is in the west side of Crete, here in the island. And we'll see this, this Venetian harbor, which continues just part of the central hub. So as you can see, and we were talking a little bit, there's another one of the lighthouses, of the string of lighthouses here in the island of Crete. And as we see the plaza and as we see the harbor, we can see some of the rock formations and buildings, which they have built right onto the rock here. Here this area. Again, another one of the places we saw yesterday, which was colorful communities, and just you can see how the colors of different from yellows and pinks have just done this beautiful area right here in the old town of Chania. So as an interesting place, but you still can see some of the old buildings that have had all this area right here at the port. And again, just the same as the other places in Hydra, we see that the ports go right into the city. And you see a lot of people, as we saw, there were carts drawn by horses and donkeys, and people walking or on bicycles. So an interesting place here in the old town of Chania in Greece. So we are here in this place of the world. So let me know, what do you like? What's the next place? Where should we go next? We are exploring today Greece, just to tie in the adventures of Mr. Adam with Into the Dungeonverse, and just kind of exploring this area, just to give you a real taste of what Greece is it's all about, and all the places that we see. So I'm going to move just a little bit faster because there's a lot of places to see. But before, we'll just do two more, and then we'll get to our activity today. So we'll go to the monastery of St. John, and what's really interesting about it is this monastery in St. John, the theologian, is a historic center of the Greek Orthodox worship on the island of Patmos. So what's really interesting about this is, you see all the works that have been done, all the woodwork, but look at the paintings on the wall. Every inch of the monastery is painted with ancient with all these ancient paintings, intricate. It was founded in 1088. It's amazing. Almost it's going to be 2,000 almost 1,000 years ago, and it just dominates with the island of St. John. So this is where it's said to have that St. John has written the gospel of in the Apocalypse. They say that this is the place where it was written. So it is amazing how we see all the works all the way up, every inch of the monastery, painted, and with incredible works of carpentry, incredible works of metallurgy, and an incredible place of works of art. So this is what I find interesting about it, is just how almost 1,000 years ago, this whole place was bare, and it kept on growing with all this with all the art that we can see. So before we keep on going, let me show in the comments, where should we go next? I know that there's a few things. There's still Russia. I know that Mr. Justin said that we should go to Mars. Absolutely, let's go to Mars. Let's explore more, a little bit of the universe. I know that there are other places which I love to go. So we'll deep dive into Italy at some point. We will go other places, like get back into the desert, and kind of just in Saudi Arabia, and I want to go on a deep dive and just explore the Nile, as well as some of the other places that we have. And let's go all the way up that we haven't gone. We haven't gone, for example, to Alaska. Alaska is going to be, I think it'd be a great place to explore. So let me know in the comments. Let me know that where you would like to go, where should we go next. So and if you can't comment right now, just leave a comment in the video. We check it every day here at the New Minds Enrichment, and we can definitely be able to look to see where to go next. So the next place that we're going to go here in Greece is the famous Mount Olympus. So the tallest mountain in Greece is standing, at the peak of Mytikas at the almost 3,000 meters, 9,500 feet up. It's the key destination for Greek mythology. Mr. Adam, I know that this is a place where your adventures have started and now have grown, and you can see them live of here with Mr. Walter around the world. This is the place, that in addition to being a key destination of the Greek mythology, is home of the gods and Zeus's throne and Mount Olympus. So, here it is. It's amazing. This is the place where here in the mountain, where Zeus has, where the gods in Greek mythology would meet. Mount Olympus is is a national park, so you can actually go and climb all the way up to Mount Olympus. And what a great, what a great story to tell would be to just climb all the way up. So it not only has just all the natural elements that we see here in Greece, that we see the rock formations, but you definitely can see the rest of the countryside. So adventures in Greek mythology start from this place, Zeus's throne on the height of Mount Olympus. So let me just get back a little bit so you can see it from our perspective, and here it is, right at the edge of Greece, Mount Olympus. Great place and an incredible. So it's what's really fun that I think having being able to just not only do the find the mythological and just follow mythology, but also adventuring and adding all those stories with the real life. So there is a real place that ties in all these adventures here in Greece. All right, so for our activity today, we are going to try to start building a Colosseum. It's inspired by Greek architecture, and what we'll need, as you can see, is right here. You will need some scissors, some cardboard, and some markers, color pencils, and it's actually pretty easy. So as what is it right here? As you see here in the side picture, it is we're going to cut a section of cardboard and we're going to wrap it around. And once we wrap it around, we'll be able to actually do and paint all the structures, and you'll be able to see. So to start our project, here it is. Just a piece of cardboard. And the key thing about this piece of cardboard, which you can cut, is then you can place it right into it. And I've done this already. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. You can just roll it up, and once you have it rolled up, just like that, you'll see that once it becomes undone, you will have a nice curved section of cardboard. And once you do that, then we already have half the way there. So just with a little bit of coloring, we'll be able to color the first section, the second section, and finally the upper section. So let me just do that real quick, as I'm gonna again fold cardboard. And you can see the one that I've done already. So I've made one line, a second line, and then I have started painting each one. And there's a little trick which I want to show you here, how to make them look three-dimensional. So you make just one of the arcs and then paint inside of it, and that makes it look like it's a three-dimensional entryway. Then you obviously you can cut those out, and then you'll have even a more realistic way of how it goes. So I'm just going to do this side section right here, so we can have like the section that kind of fell off of the edge. So that's pretty easy. We just kind of marked it, and now we're just going to cut it into. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, this is part of the ruins, and the Colosseum was inspired by Greek architecture, and you can see them in different movies, as well as different places that you can look at. So there it is. I have cut the section and then just left a straight edge. So now you can see where we're going. This is the first side, and then the edge of the Colosseum. So I'm going to paint, and I'm going to see this section. And a few people say, well, I don't have a ruler. So actually I've made a ruler. So as you can see, it's just a straight area of just cut up cardboard. So I've done that, and I am going to paint just just make a quick line right on top, and you'll see it right now once I'm done. So I have just made another line right across, so that way I have one level, the second level, the third level, and all the way to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that section, if I can find it, the top section of that of that picture. So it's really pretty easy. I'm just going to make little squares with another element in the. Actually, they look like little eyes. So as we kind of move and do another one, and then do another one, and I'm going to show you. See how now they're looking like portals that are right on top. I'm going to draw one right at the edge right here. And again, they don't have to be perfect. There you go. So we have, and it's really interesting because the way that the grooves look, they're also very interesting because they actually makes it look like it's really old. So one of the interesting places here. So I'm going to do the second section and the third section. The second section I'm just going to do straight windows, and the bottom also straight windows. So you'll be able to see. And the way that we're going to do them is I'm just going to keep following the grid lines straight down, and then just going to do 1, 2, and 3 different levels. So one of the interesting points is that it was the Greeks had this incredible kind of a love for symmetry, and just the mathematical aspects of having this area. And it was just absolutely stunning, and that's the reason why it's still there today. So I have done a full grid, as you can see, just following the lines, and I'm just going to do a few of them, and that way you can take a quick look. So I'll do just the top section, which has a taller window, and I'll do just the bottom section as well, which has another one of a tall window, and I'm just going to paint the bottom one black, just like the picture. And there we go. So you can see all 3 levels, and then it's kind of just a little bit of a destruction, and then just has some of the sections fell off, and then all the rest of the. And as we start kind of coloring in black, and you can see that I'm just using a black marker and making a Colosseum. And as I finish this section, you'll be able to see how that looks. So let me get my section here of a floor. Here it is. And let me just find, I'm sure that he's around here. My trusty wizard. There you go. The wizard exploring the Colosseum. The Colosseum inspired by Greek architecture, and it's something easy to build. Now we're just gonna finish. We're gonna finish painting it, and once we finish painting it, we'll be able to have this full structure. So yeah, here it is. The Colosseum inspired by Greek architecture as we kind of move and have. So thank you for so much. We're gonna have 10 more minutes left. Imagine that. And I just want to make sure that I get some of the let you know what's coming up. So at 3 p.m. we have the Steam Train with Mr. Dorian. Just live Steam learning with all sorts of games, and so join us. A lot of fun. As well as at 4 o'clock we have from the Numi Vault. This is with Mr. Ben. So it's classical puzzles and brain twisters, and it's presented like all the New Minds activities are presented live during this time. And also the closing messages from an announcement from Mr. Ben and also from Justin. This is for parents and just letting you know what is up in the agenda for today. So I am Mr. Walter, and we have explored the sections here in Greece. We have gone to the different places. We have gone to the Balos Beach. We have gone to the Cimmerian Gorge. We have gone to Mount Ida. We haven't gone to any of these two places, but we did go to Hydra. And we went to Mount Olympus. We actually traveled through the different sections here of the lighthouses as the string of lighthouses in Crete. We went to Corfinas. We actually went into the monastery of St. John the Theologian to see some of the incredible works of art. And we went to the Acropolis Museum. So we have explored different sections here in this great place in which is Greece. And we are able to kind of move around and see. So as we pan out again and take a quick look of our Earth and the places, see how small the place that we traveled. So many great places in the world that we can travel. So please let me know which is going to be the next place that you would like to go. So we do have some of the places here in the comments, just let's see which ones. And as we move and see the sections here, the sections of the world, we will be traveling throughout Mr. Walter around the world. So let's see. Now that we have gone, let's go back to where we started, and we'll go back to our neck of the woods, turning the globe around and just flying all the way down to North Texas. And we are now right back when we started here in Plano. So an incredible place an incredible great work that the people of Google Earth have done, so that we are able to travel from the comfort of our homes to different places in the world. So thank you so much for being with me. This is Mr. Walter from around the world. We will be coming in live every day, and as you know, we will be have different activities as well. So at 3 p.m. in just a few minutes, Mr. Dorian will be coming with the Steam Train from the Numi Vault at 4 and at 5 again. So just follow your passion. Make sure that that passion kind of shines through, and you will see great benefits from it. One of my passions is being a dungeon master and following the adventures and just playing games online. I have a great stack of games behind me, and it's one of my passions. Also, I love to travel and I love to just move around the world. And so it is my pleasure to bring you around the world with Mr. Walter. Enjoy and have lots of fun and a great rest of the day.